Welcome. This is going to be a training video about the Avigilon Alta system. This is mainly set up for end users, or if you're training an end user, how to make simple, how to add schedules, how to set up user groups. You want to give access to certain doors, certain times, or have a door open for certain times and not others. This is going to be a crash course on that. What I got here is I've designed a simple building for this example, which highlight, I got the bright green colors for the doors. So I got the entrance here. This is going to be the main entrance. And this is where customers would normally come in. And the hours of operation is 8 in the morning until 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. So between those hours, this door needs to be unlocked. Outside those hours, it is locked. Employees can come in, but not the customer. Okay, over here we got the employee door. So kind of self-explanatory. Customers come in, but we do not want them going to the back. And then beyond the employee door, we have the vault, and this is going to be just for the managers, the boss, or only special access. And then beyond that, we're going to have some other factors here. We're going to have like employees will only come in at certain times. I said the customers are from 8 to 5. So typically the workers will be from, we'll say like 7 to 5, 7 to 6. But we're going to extend the hours in case they want to come in early or stay late. So the employees won't be able to come into the building unless it's between the hours of 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. But there'll be a cleaning crew comes in every night to do cleaning. So they can't use their card in the daytime, but they can come in at night. And the vault, like I said, it's going to be for bosses. So they can get in there any time of day, any hour of the day, any day of the week, holidays, doesn't matter. So with this in mind, 3 doors, entrance, employee, and vault. I've already set up the simple building. The technician should have already set that up for you, but we need to get all these programmed. So now we're going to go into the system. If you're not already logged in, you're going to go to control.openpath.com, login, and here you'll log in with your information. They'll take you to this site. And so I've already made the training building, and it's got 3 single door controllers. So the first thing I'm going to conquer is that entry door. Right now the door is locked. I need to open up Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. So we're going to go to sites, and then the first place I'm going to go is entry schedules. Now, you got to pay real close attention to where you go to, because entry schedules is going to look exactly like user schedules, but they have very different purposes, very different limited options. So entry schedules, you see I have nothing entered here, so I'm going to go over to the right, and there's this plus sign. I'm going to press it, and I'm going to name this. I'm going to name this a customer hours. And let's be more descriptive. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, then hit next. Okay, so now that's entered right there. Entries are not worried about anything on there, but down here in events, we're going to hit the plus sign. And here we're going to name it normal open hours. And this is going to happen every week. See, by default, it has Monday through Friday. That's perfect. By default, it has 9 a.m. We want it to be 8. So you can either click it and change it, or it brings up this right here where you can scroll. 8 a.m. Okay, and 5 p.m. That's correct. That's my time zone. That's good. But when do you want to start the schedule? Well, I'm setting this up for now to forever. So the start date's good. That's today's date and never ends. That sounds great. For most people, you're going to have schedule state convenience, but we want the store to be unlocked. Convenience will be locked. So you hit this drop down menu and you're going to have to scroll down and you find unlocked. All right, so now just review again. Every week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at this time zone, the door is going to unlock. Save. Okay, now that's enter. You think you're done, right? Well, let's just say it's July 4th. The store is going to be closed. How do you handle that? So with this particular system, we have to add more to this entry schedule. So we're still in the customer hours schedule. We're going to add another event. You have to do this for every single holiday. We're going to add an event. We're going to call this July 4th. This doesn't happen every week. This happens once a year. On what day? or right here, repeats once a year in every July. And we're going to pick 4. Oh, okay. Let's try again. 4. Why is that doing that? All right. And you go back to it. Some reason I'm trying to do 4 and it gave me 14. 4. Enter. And it is mad at me. All right. Let's just hit delete here. 4. And we'll click off of it. Oh, this thing is very, very irritating. Let's find number 4. It does it in a numeric order, not 1, 2, 3, 4, but the first digit's 1, and then it can perceive all the ones. So to find 4, then be down at the bottom, past the 30s. All right, so on the 4th day of July, what we're saying here is all day long. So we're going to make the start time say first thing in the morning, 12 a.m., which is midnight. This is going to end at 11:59 p.m. So all day long, the door is going to be convenient state locked. All right, let's save this. All right, and see, we got the 2 entries here. We got normal business hours, and we got July 4th. If you notice over here, we got rank 1 and 2. This is what takes priority. So if it's July 4th, we want July 4th to take priority over normal hours. So we're going to, right over here, we got the 3 lines. You would think that's like options, but that's actually where you can drag and drop. Because you see the icon changes into a hand. We're going to drag the 2 and bring it up here. So now July 4th takes priority over normal business hours. So we'd have to do this for every single holiday we want to stay closed. For this one, it was July 4th, will always be July 4th. There's no other day in America we celebrate independence but July 4th. But Thanksgiving is always that Thursday. The day of the week is always the same, but not necessarily the date. I just want to go back to July 4th and just show you there was another option. Let's just say we're going to go with something like that. It's going to be November. And it wouldn't be on the day of the 4th. It'd be on what week? You say, oh, it's the 3rd week on a Thursday. And that's how you would generate for Thanksgiving. So it's not necessarily looking at the date. You're looking at what week and what day of the week. Let's go ahead and get off that. I'm not going to save this. Let me just cancel out of here. Okay, so it's still July 4th. So again, if it's not July 4th, anything that's above here is go through all these to check it, and then it'll keep going down in a descending order. So on this one, for the holiday schedule, you always want your normal business hours to be the last thing that checks. All right, so we have the schedule, but we're not using it yet. So we're going to save this. And now if we go back to sites and entries, here I got my 3 doors listed. And I listed them as main door, employee door, and the vault. So this is only going to apply to the main door. We're going to edit over here to the right, the pencil. Now, sometimes it's hard to see, but this is actually a window you can scroll down because you got your name and zone. You keep scrolling down. Default behavior, we don't want to change that. Schedule. Now, if we didn't go to schedule first and we went straight here, this button, manage schedules, will take you back to the scheduling page. But we already made our schedule. We're going to just drop down and, oh, here it is, customer hours. There we go, and save. It's taking me a moment. Okay. Now you can see right here, there is a schedule applied to our front door. Now for the employee door and the vault door, we don't need a schedule for that. Those doors will always work if you present your credentials. But I did say we're going to have the employees can only get in within certain hours. So now we need to set up that. So instead of sites, we're going to go to users. And again, we're going to go to schedules. This is going to look very similar to the last one. But you always got to be careful which schedules you're in. All right, so we're going to go over to plus. We have no schedules yet. We're going to call this employee hours. All right, employee hours. And we got events here again. We're going to hit plus to add events. This is going to be a repeating event. Normal working hours for employees. Again, every week this is going to apply. And I said, we open the doors at 8. And they would normally come in at 7 to get the store ready. We're going to assume that maybe they have to come in early. So the earliest they can get in the door will be 5 a.m. And then the latest that their card will work on the door will be 7 p.m. Again, same time zone, that's all correct. And this is a convenient state. So that just means the door's locked. And then presenting your credential will open the door. All right, and we're going to hit save. Now, again, just like the last one, if you want to make sure your employees couldn't get in on holidays, like I do not want you to come in on Christmas. I don't care how much work you're back behind. You can add those holidays on here and make those just like this rank 1, make the holidays a higher rank, and then employees couldn't get in no matter what. But typically, if people want to work on the holidays, I don't see many employers telling them not to. So we're going to assume this was fine. We're going to save this schedule. All right, so now we got one for employee hours. Let's go ahead and make some other schedules while we're here, because we're going to have the maintenance, or not the maintenance crew, but the cleaning crew. And to make it a little bit harder, they're going to come in at 9 p.m. and they're going to leave at 1 a.m. So they're going to come in on a Monday, but leave possibly on Tuesday morning. So to make that schedule, we're going to hit plus sign again to add another schedule. We'll call this the cleaning crew hours. Next. Okay, again, we'll get the events here. It's empty. We're going to hit plus sign. And they are also only going to work Monday through Friday. Where I was saying this one might be a little tricky. If you look at the start time, it starts, if you were to click it, it starts at midnight. And it ends at 11:59. If they're starting their day at 9 p.m. and ending at 1 a.m., how we'd have to handle that is start time will be 9 p.m. So let's put the 9 in p.m. Ending time will be 11:59 p.m. Okay, now if you already know that this is not 1 a.m., it's fine. We'll handle that in a moment. I mean, stay, all that's fine. So now they can come in and they can start using the card at 9 p.m. We're going to save that. But to handle the midnight to 1 a.m., we're going to make another event. Add event. And it's going to be clean crew hours, I will say after midnight. And this one, they won't be working Sunday, so they shouldn't be coming at Monday at 1 a.m. But if they're working Friday, they're actually going to stay to possibly Saturday morning to 1 a.m. So here we're going to make this. Start time will be 12 a.m. and the ending time will be 1 p.m. Not 1 p.m., but 1 a.m. Excuse me. All right. Everything else should remain the same. Hit save. And now with this, we should have two schedules out here. It doesn't matter which one takes priority of these two because they should work together. So we got them coming at 9 p.m. till basically midnight, 11:59 p.m., and then continuing from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. With these two combined, now we have the combined hours of 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. for the cleaning group. All right, let's hit save. Now we have the managers or bosses. We're not going to put any sort of schedule on them. They can come in whenever they want because they're the boss. So we don't need a scheduled time for them. If you come in after these hours, your card will not work if it's applied to the schedule. But now we need to add the users. Before we get to the actual users themselves, we're going to establish the access groups. And with these, we're going to name them just like you would think. We got the uh, normal employees, uh, Monday through Friday, normal hours. Now down here, we got users. Any users you already have in the system will already be showing here. And there'll be a little button for moving over to the right. You can add or subtract people. This is what's available on the left, and to the right is what is currently assigned. You can make badge templates. I'm not covering that on this one, but everyone can have their own style badge. And the badge would show up even on the mobile app. You'll have your own special badge. In this case, we're not going to mess with that. All right, so we got normal hours. And then down here, if you keep scrolling down, we have the access. Now we got the train building. We got the little arrow to the left. If you press the building, we get more of a detailed view. You just hit this checkbox. It will give this person access to all the doors. Normal employees, do they get to access all the doors? No, they do not get access to the vault. So we're going to uncheck the vault so they can use the front door, the main entrance, and the employee door. But right now, there's no schedule applied. If you go over here to refer to entry behavior, we're going to apply these to both these being employee hours. Now, if you notice, I got two blanks, so I can set up different doors that have different schedules for different employees. But I want the employee to have access to the same hours to both these doors. So now, any normal employee I assign is going to have access to these two doors at these hours. Save. Now we're going to add the cleaning crew. We're going to call that cleaning crew. Now I'm going to skip the description. I'm going to scroll down here. Get access, and am I going to give them access to the vault? I'm going to assume no. That the vault's got the really important stuff, so they cannot get into there. And remember their hours of operation, we made it for their own cleaning crew hours. Let's save them. There is another group, and it's the bosses. So we're going to add another group and say manager. And down here to access. Now remember, the manager can get in anywhere. So in this one, we could just check this box and everything is added. And do we have any schedule for manager to use doors? No, anytime they want. So we don't need to apply any schedule. Save. Now I've made a user here. I just called him John Doe. And just to show you what I added for John Doe, the main page, when you add them, it's going to require the email. The email is probably the thing that has to be unique to each person, so you can't share email addresses between two people. But johndoe@email.com. John Doe. Now, John Doe, I've already been playing with him earlier, so let me delete this. So we have this employee, John Doe, but needs a credential. Credential being, is he going to use his phone to get in the building? Is he going to use his card? So we go to add credential, this drop down box. And don't forget this, we'll scroll down. We got these different options here. I'm going to set up mobile, but if you have a card, you got the different styles of card, PIN. Again, this one I'm going to use mobile. So they're going to use the mobile app on their phone. I'm going to give this a name. This is going to be John Doe Work Phone. Starting now, the credential will be active. Now you have an end date, and that might be useful if you have someone that's like a membership to a club. Maybe it's like a gym, and you're going to sign up for 1 year. Your card is only going to work for 1 year. Or maybe you have it open like this, and we will cancel your card manually. So you do not have to put an end date, but if you know that this guy's only going to have access for a certain time, you can put an end date in there and then kind of like set it and forget it. All right, so all this information in here, we're going to hit save. And what's added here is got an ID, That is the name of his credential. And there's a button here that says send. So right now he has his credential in the system, but John Doe can't access this. If we hit send, it will send a message via email to whatever email you have. Let's in this case it was johndoe@email.com. And the email would say, hey, you've been invited. And here's the app. And it gives you a link to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. And then once they do that, on the same email, it has like tap to open. Once they tap it, it should automatically add their credentials to their phone. I'm not going to send it right now. Let's see. Also, if they happen to break that phone, they got a new phone, and they would need to add this to their new phone, send button would once again send a new email. We're going to add another one for John Doe. This is John Doe's personal phone because he likes to bring both phones in. Some days he forgets one or the other. Oops. Did I do something wrong here? Let me try it again. John Doe personal phone. It is acting strange. So I'm going to leave this page and come back. That's what's going on. I just started typing in there, but I got to click mobile. What kind of credential am I giving him? I'm giving him another mobile. So you got to click that, and then you type it in here. So I was just skipping a step. All right, for a personal phone, again, this starts now. I'm going to have an ending date. Hit save. And see now, John, one person has two credentials. So he can have one for his work phone, one for his personal. So one person can have multiple credentials. You can have the app on your phone, have yourself a card or a key fob. You have a PIN number if you have the proximity or keypad. You got lots of different ways. One person could have multiple credentials. But now he's got two credentials. Access. Now, right now, he's not part of any access group. I just added him. But remember, John Doe, he's going to be a regular employee. So let's click him for normal employees and save. So now John is in there. If I sent the emails to his phone, he'll have the ability to set up a credential for his phone and be able to come in during normal hours. Let's make another user just for the cleaning crew. For another one, you can do import users if you have a big bulk of them. They import CVS files. I'm doing it manually, one person at a time here. So I'm going to add user. This is going to be Jane Doe. JaneDoe@email.com. And she is Jane and Doe. You can put all this information if you wanted to, not required. Save. Automatically takes us to this page after adding a new user. Credentials, we're going to give her another mobile credential. Set the date, or whatever you want to call the credential. It has to have a name though. We're going to hit save. We're going to get the send option. We're going to pretend we sent it to her. So she's going to be working tonight. She's part of the cleaning group. So again, access group. We want to drop down, make her part of the cleaning group, and save. We'll do one more. This will be the boss. Plus sign and bossman@email.com. Boss. We want to give them a last name. Surprisingly, none of the name fields are actually required. So if you wanted to have a database that was really, really secure, so if somebody was in here, you couldn't see who it was, you could do that and have all aliases or just the employee identification number. So I'm just going to put boss, save. Again, it'll take us to the next page. Boss have a credential. Let's try a card. Proximity 26-bit. The code is 253. Card number 152647. Oh, too many numbers. Okay, but that works. Card number okay. Used for gateway. Disabled. Sure. I'm just gonna start. This is a pain in the butt. I had to scroll up to see the bottom of this one, but now I'm gonna hit now. No end date and save. And hopefully I would hand them this card and they are good to go. The card right now works everywhere, but we're going to make sure it works everywhere. Actually, the card doesn't work anywhere. The card's not assigned to any site. So access group, manager, save. And just so you can see what I was talking about that not being assigned anywhere, see if I can uncheck this. Let's go look at the boss. Go back to edit. His access is nothing. I just left the page and came right back to it. I was trying to see if it would give me any other views, but it does not. Now, if you wanted another overview about who's in what group, we can go back to access groups. It says right here, in cleaning crew, I got one employee, manager, I got one employee, and not normal employees, I have one. And we can click on one just so you can see. The one I just said, it was boss. He's a manager. If you look over here, if you scroll down, you see I have boss. He's added to the thing. I can add some other people here. You can have multiple roles. But actually, I didn't want to add these people, so let me remove them. It's back to just boss. So if you had like 100 people and you could add, bring them all in one at a time, set their credentials one at a time, and then add a bulk of them all to the access group on the access group page like this. Yeah, I want to discard changes. So to add a user to the access group, you can do it from access groups and then edit, or you can do it from the users tab and edit the user directly in the access tab on the user. And with that, that's the lesson for today. I hope you learned something.